going in.
We're gonna make it work.
This amount of food is not going in that can.
It's a lot smaller than I thought.
I told you.
It's a lot smaller than I remember.
Yeah, there's no way.
No. This is gonna work. You're right. That's definitely not all gonna fit. All right. What are we losing? How are we gonna have enough food? Well, we are back, and for the first time in my YouTube career here, finally happened. I recorded an entire video and I lost the footage. So you're getting round 2 of all the backpacking food we're taking on a 5-day, 4-night trip out west.
Can you say like and subscribe?
Like and subscribe.
Can you say check out the podcast?
Check out the podcast.
Can you say buy some merch?
Buy some more.
Okay, then, all right, hit that ball into that cup and get a popsicle. Oh, first try!
We are getting ready to go out west in about a week. We have a sweet trip planned. You know, we haven't been doing a lot of backpacking this year. Some things kind of got in the way, but we are back. We're ready to hit it. And I think this trip and this video, it goes through like a lot of considerations for this style of trip. And there are probably like 2 or 3 main food related things that Andy and I had to pack around. So I think this would be a really interesting video. I think you might learn some things, and we try to do things a little bit differently. A couple things to consider. First, as you saw in the opening, we got these darn bear canisters. Last year, we did a 3-night, 4-day trip out west using the same bear canisters, and I'll be honest, it was a struggle to fit 4 whole days of food in those bear canisters. This trip is 5 days, so volume and getting all this into a bear canister, which I did, that was the first consideration. So how can we keep volume and caloric density maximal here? Second consideration, this is nothing new if you've been watching our food related videos, we are like protein. Camping food in general, like nutritionally, is trash. So it's just carb heavy, and you need carbs out there, but I think something that people don't consider is protein intake. And when we're out there, we consciously try and eat more protein, and so I've kind of whittled that into my food choices. Third consideration, once again, nothing new the last few years, is I try and eat, this is crazy to say, but I try and eat and bring as much real food as humanly possible. I just get sick of the freeze-dried, super dehydrated, super salty backpacking crap food. So I made a lot of food here. I dehydrated a lot of stuff myself. I tried to get some things. I try to have as much, real food as possible. So volume, protein, and real food. Those are the considerations here for 5 full days of food. We will start with the dinners. So first thing I do, and I did this when we went to Colorado a few years ago, one thing I do to keep volume down, other than I do have a vacuum sealer, we do a little of that, I bulk package the big meals. So for instance, this is 2 dinners. So what this is I got a number 10 can of Mountain House chicken and rice. Shout out to Bryce, that's his meal. I got on sale $25 for a number 10 can of chicken and rice. I took that chicken and rice, I added to it, I made my own steamed vegetable blend, and I dehydrated that, trying to get some real food in there. And then just to give it a little bit of flavor, I dehydrated my own buffalo chicken wrap. They're buffalo chicken wraps, but it's just buffalo chicken. We actually have a video on the dehydrated buffalo chicken. It's a super easy, cheap, great meal to make, but I added that to the Mountain House chicken and rice. So 2 meals of Mountain House chicken and rice with dehydrated vegetables I did myself, as well as dehydrated buffalo chicken I did myself. So 2 dinners right here. Next, I made what we call our barbecue pasta. We've got a video on that. Got a great vacuum seal on that. But once again, real food here. This was real pasta I made with real meat, and I just put it on the dehydrator. And it's a really cheap meal to make too. It's just, trying to make real food here. No preservatives, so the downside to this stuff is it's not gonna last as long shelf life wise, but it's gonna last a few weeks. But that's dinner number 3 is the barbecue pasta. Dinner number 4, tried and true. I bring one of these every trip. This is 2 packets of Easy Mac with the rest of the dehydrated buffalo chicken. So this is like a buffalo chicken mac and cheese. The dehydrated buffalo is super easy to make, and you can add it to anything, and it goes very well with mac and cheese. Moving on, another thing I've been doing the last 2 years, which I prefer, and Andy's coming around to it, is I don't have dedicated lunches. I used to bring ramen, I used to bring instant potatoes, I used to have hot lunches. Now, I find that we don't really stop that long for lunch, and I like to just kind of nibble on stuff throughout the day. So basically, I have a bunch of things here that'll all aggregately be like lunch and snacks. So first, in keeping protein high, I've got 6 of the Cliff. They're called Builder's Bars. It's Cliff's like protein bar. They're really good. Get them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap, but I got 6 of those. I got a big old bag of trail mix. I kind of made this myself. I mean, this is not the trail mix that I have in here, this bag. I had like 3 or 4 different things laying around my house. I all mixed them together. It's classic peanuts, some chocolate chips, M&Ms, dehydrated things. It's just like a classic trail mix. I actually like trail mix, and very, very calorically dense. Next, in keeping with the real food thing, I found I just like having something that's real, that's not just pure dehydrated. So I'm bringing some tortillas, and I got the protein added tortillas, trying to keep protein high. And then what I have is Andy always brings these, and I never do. They're so expensive. I got the Justin's peanut butter and honey packets. So once again, real food. So I have 7 of these, and what I'll do is I'll smear these on the tortillas. So I have like a peanut butter and honey tortilla. So once again, kind of a real food. In keeping with real food, make it ourselves. I make my own beef jerky now. So I don't think we have a video on this. Beef jerky is so easy to make, and I have a smoker. And I implore you to make your own beef jerky, if not because it is insanely cheaper than buying beef jerky. But once again, this beef jerky is literally just beef and teriyaki sauce. That's it. And some salt. No nitrates, no preservatives. It doesn't last as long, but it tastes really good. It's easy, and more importantly, it's super cheap. So I always implore people to make your own beef jerky. And I got my hot sauce. I'm bringing Frank's Red Hot this trip. I tend to either Frank's Red Hot or Sriracha, but I bring my hot sauce, and I always find a way to sneak in some LK tape on everything. That rounds out the snacks. Oh, and then I have these. I don't know if I'm gonna bring these. Andy gave me these. These things are really good. They're really expensive. This is extra protein. It's like protein ramen. So it's like a ramen, but they add protein to it. So once again, in keeping with the high protein, I've got these. I don't know if I'm gonna take these. I'm squeezed enough getting this stuff into the bear canister. But I've got these out here, $7 a pop though, not cheap. Instagram ads got them, but this is, if you're looking for something easy and extra protein, these protein ramens, and they taste good. That rounds out the lunches and snacks. So protein bars, protein tortillas, honey and peanut butter, homemade beef jerky, and trail mix. All high protein and some high carbs. Just like I said, we go out there, you're degrading your body every day you need protein. Moving on to breakfast. So doing something I haven't done in a while. I'm bringing like real breakfast. So normally I just bring like oatmeal or sometimes just like protein powder, but I bought Mountain House biscuits and gravy, and I got, this is a new one. This is the Mountain House veggie chorizo like egg scramble, and each one of these is 2 breakfasts. So the Mountain House you buy, it's like 600 calories, so I split that between 2 breakfasts. So I'll have 2 breakfasts of the chorizo scramble and two breakfasts of the biscuits and gravy. The Mountain House biscuits and gravy might be the best dehydrated meal in general of all time. Andy will eat it for dinner sometimes. Moving on to drinks. So this bag, something I'm doing differently now, I'm not bringing the Mio. I feel like it's just a little bit heavier and bulkier. So, and it's easier for me to get this in the bear canister. I'll take all these packets out and kind of wedge them in there. But in the drink bag, I've got my coffee, and this is a new thing this year. I've got the Alpine Start coffee. We're coffee snobs. Every person I've ever talked to has said that this Alpine Start is the best instant coffee. I'll be the judge of that, but I bring 2 packets a day plus a bonus packet. So I have 9 packets of Alpine Start coffee. And then I have 3 different kind of variations of electrolyte stuff. And this is just because I had this stuff laying around. I've got a liquid IV, Big fan of those. I've got a bunch of these watermelon flavored electrolyte packets I got on Amazon for running, super cheap. And then I also have a couple packets of these Propel zero sugar electrolyte packets. So I like these packets. What I will do, it can be a little messy, is sometimes I won't put the whole packet in a drink. I'll just rip it off and pour some in, and then, like, you know, have a crusty packet of half electrolyte mix in my pocket. But that all goes in the drink bag. And then the last thing that goes in there is the creamer for my coffee. This is Maxwell House instant flavored coffee. Like, they make a instant coffee that they make it flavored that's just like filled with sugar and cream, and I just use it as creamer in my coffee. So I do like a little cream and sugar in the coffee, so that'll go in the drink bag. Oh, and then one more thing, I'm a big fan of these as well. A little bit more bulky, and I'll take them out of this package, but I like the Noon tablets. I like, especially at camp, if you're mixing up a cocktail, I like having something with some fizziness to it sometimes. Kind of just breaks up the monotony. So 3 different types of electrolyte packets, plus a Noon, plus coffee, plus creamer. That'll all go in here. And then I'll probably actually stick my hot sauce in here. So that's it. This is not a ton of food. It's enough food. I'll probably eat it all. I've never gone on a backpacking trip where I eat all my food, because I always bring a little bit extra, just as like a hedge. But because of those volume considerations of that darn bear canister, I just don't have the luxury of bringing extra food. This is probably, I actually did some like back of the napkin math here. This is probably about 10 to 12,000 calories. So for 5 days, that's, you know, 2,000 to 3,000 calories a day ish, which is not a lot, but it should be enough. Maybe a little more. Maybe say 12 to 13,000 calories. So it'll be enough. But there's no extra food here. There's no room for a lot of room for error, just because of the bear canister. And like I said, every single meal here literally has protein embedded in it. Whether it's, you know, the dehydrated meat in the pasta, the beef jerky, the protein tortillas, the trail mix, the peanut butter packets, the breakfasts, everything has got extra protein added into it, as well as carbs. So like I said, volume, protein, and as much real food as possible. That's how we do it. That is it for this video. We'll be taking off here in a few days. Andy's food, his is not ready just yet, but it's very similar. He's got a lot of those protein cookies. But we'll see you on the trail, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.